Hi guys, it's Nancy here and I'm back with another process video, and this is another one using that Flutter collection from Fancy Pants, and this is a challenge that came out from my tag video and a conversation that I had with Irit and Crystal. And I said it in my other two videos, I really love this paper collection, but the colours are very saturated, and I just found them really hard to actually work with. So my first layout I used a lot of mixed media on. My second layout that I posted I kept very simple, but tried to use the really weird alpha that came with this. But sort of this one, I'm going to try and use a kind of a mixture of those pattern papers, but use that full sheet as a background there. As I said, I really love the navies and the pinks in this collection. And those pops of gold are fab as well. So, as I said, I struggled using this, but I'm happy I persevered, because as I said, the layouts are not, I'm going to admit it, aren't the favourite ones that I've ever made, but there's something a little bit different, and I'm thinking if I hadn't have done this challenge, these papers probably would have sat in my stash for quite a while. But, you know, and I loved them when they came out. I absolutely loved them, and I had to own them. And then they just sat there and did nothing, so I'm happy to have got them out of my stash. So I'm going to go from kind of like a design that I've used a few times before, which is using kind of like banners laid under a photo. Of course, I'm always going to use like that rule of thirds to kind of put my photo in, and I know that I want quite a long title on here. I do love my long titles. I struggle to use these brag cards. I love them and I love their sayings, but I think to mix them with the paper collection just kind of wasn't working for me, so I think I'm actually just going to put those in my Project Life stash. And I would say the really good thing about them is they don't have rounded corners, so if you want to use them on scrapbook pages for like a title piece, I think they look okay. So they're just going to go in my Project Life stash. This is because I bought the collection pack, you kind of got all of the die cuts still on the 12x12 sheet, so you had to punch them out yourself. They're exactly the same ones as if you bought the embellishment pack, but you kind of had to punch them out yourself. So I was left with this big piece with this gold kind of, it's about 6x6 square where all the foil die cuts were, and I was going to chuck it in the bin, and I thought, no, I'm going to see if I can use it, and I tried to get it on the last layout and it didn't kind of work, but I think it adds a little bit of interest to this piece. And I would say I struggled with some of the embellishments, because you've got these like bright gold, which is nice because you've got the gold papers in it, and then there's like this weird kind of like blackboard vinyl kind of stuff, which just didn't kind of work for me, so I didn't end up using any of those. But I think I'll put them in my stash, and maybe, because you can use embellishments with other papers. So here you can see I'm just constructing my sort of top cluster there, where I'm kind of made these two banners, and I've got that kind of like a big gold piece. Again, I'm using my blue navy ink to do all the inking around the edges. I did want to add a little bit of background interest around here, because I wanted to just break up that louder paper, because I've not kind of got anywhere for the eye to rest. On my last layout I kind of had some more just of the plain cardstock showing, so you had somewhere for that eye to rest, but I wanted to just break it up a little bit, and the way that I like to do that is just using a variety of my stencils and inks over the top, and as I said, it just breaks up that crazy pattern enough somewhere for your eye to kind of like, not rest because it's still really busy, but just somewhere that there's a slight break for your eyes. So I've just used my neon pink Hero Arts ink, which I love, it's one of my favourite inks, and then I've used the navy, and then I've just used, I think I used the black and the pink ink. I think it's the black I used. I was going to use the gold, but decided against that at this point. And again, I just like to do that because it just adds, a little bit of interest, and to be honest, I think it's what makes layouts look more like me, because I do it on so many of my layouts, and I like to have, some consistency. Even though this layout is just going to be going in my Project Life album for this year, so it's not going to kind of really stand out because the other couple of layouts that I've done are in the kind of same week as this one. So I'm just going to put together my photo mat here, and again just using some cream cardstock there just to go around the photo, and I'm going to then mount the whole layout on that as well. And so just going to stick down this kind of die cut waist, and I'm just going to use my wet glue to do that, of course, because I couldn't really use my ATG to stick it down. And as I said before, the gold foil in this is a lovely bright gold foil. And again, just sticking down these two banner pieces, and again I prefer to kind of add a banner sort of tail rather than just use blocks of paper. I just think it adds something a little bit different. So I've just added a little bit again navy there just to make that pink pop off that piece of cardstock, and as always I forgot to stick something down, so I ended up having to peel bits off, but it's not too bad. I've just managed to peel that up there okay, so I tend not to stress too much if I need to peel something up. So I'm just using a little bit of this washi tape that was just on my desk that I actually picked up just to stick down that banner piece, and then I ended up deciding that no, I maybe want to add some of this on the layout, so I ended up adding it in kind of like 3 places. It kind of gets lost a little bit, to be honest, because of how busy the background is. As you'll know from my last couple of videos, I was trying to get that banner piece on there because I really liked it, but I was just really struggling to get it to work. But I'm happy that I actually managed to just get it there on the top of the layout. And I'm just going to use a little bit of 3D foam here just to pop up one of those arrows, because there's a few little photo layers, paper layers behind that photo. So I'm just going to pop that up on a little bit of gold, and that's just going to help bring some gold over to that side of the layout, because it is, as I said, a really shiny gold. And I said I love that gold with the more muted saturated colours. It is very saturated paper, but they are more muted. So I'm now just kind of having a think about where I'm going to put my title. I know what my title is going to be, and I know it's quite a long title. So I'm going to find out my letter stickers, and I actually found these in my stash. They don't come with this collection, but they are actually Fancy Pants letters, and so I'm actually going to use these. And so the pink is very similar to kind of some of the lighter pink tones in this. As I said, even though they didn't come with it, it came with that very odd alpha, which I used in my last video. But these are just a flat alpha, which I don't tend to use large scale flat alphas, to be honest. I tend to use thickers if I'm going to use anything. And then the flatter stickers I tend to use in my project life. So it is something a little bit different, and I said I know I want to do quite a long title. Excuse me. I did pick out a couple of other alphas which I don't end up using. So I just cut out there so you didn't have to see me sorting out placing all of those letters down. I did, have the issue that you always have, like words like coffee and that use up quite a few of your E's. So I did have to swap out 2 of the words with different colour. But overall, I think that actually ended up working really well, and it picked up the cream that was around the edge of that banner, and kind of gave 3 sort of points for that on the layout. I do like to where I can kind of have a visual triangle of colours if it is something a little bit off. So I'm just going to sort of play around with trying to get these to look straight. I don't stress about it. I'm not going to, spend ages trying to get it straight. And where I've got those 2 plain bits of banner, that plain sort of tan piece, I am actually going to do my journaling on there. So it's going to kind of just flow down there. And I said I really love this huge tile, and this was literally just a day. This is something I maybe would have put in my project life, but I wanted to write a little bit around what I was doing and what was happening, and so I've just turned it into a layout as well. So I had a huge bucket of coffee, as I call it, because it has like 2 handles either side, and a bit of cake. So that is this layout. I hope you've enjoyed seeing how I've used this paper. I am maybe going to try and get one more layout with this collection, but I'm not quite sure. So I want to thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye!